I will never blame a coach for trying to, as I always say, accentuate the strengths of a player. I think that's what Nick Sirianni is trying to do. It's not being successful. I don't know if this type of offense without other aspects added in. Watch Lamar Jackson, watch Kyler Murray, who do a lot of RPO stuff, but do so much other. They need to get to that point. Um, and maybe you're right. Maybe I talk about throwing players like Davion Taylor into the deep end of the pool. Maybe it's time to throw Jalen Hurts into the deep end of the pool,
Yeah,
sink or swim.
I would be good with that. Mac and Mac guys, final segment on a football Friday, a failure football Friday, because the Eagles failed to win last night at home. And John didn't think they were going to win before the game was played. I didn't think they were going to win before. Our boy Eddie Kratz was on with us yesterday, and he picked the Bucks to win by 2 touchdowns. So the fact that the Eagles didn't win the game should be, well, I don't even want to use the word annoying. Should have been expected. They're a better team, and not every time in the National Football League does a team with the more talent and the better roster or in the better position or the better coach or the better quarterback. They don't win every game, but they win their fair share percentage of games, and that was surely the case last night. So the Eagles hung in. The final score made it look closer than the actual play on the field was. John and I both used the word dominant at the top of the show. It was a dominant performance by Tampa yesterday, and the Eagles kind of gritted it out to stay as close for as long as they did. But then again, if the Bucks wanted to score late, they probably could have. They could have won by 9. They could have won by 13 if they wanted to get
I
another
had
touchdown.
34-22, Jody. I was hoping for that touchdown missed extra
Miss
point. That would have been,
PAT,
yeah,
right
that would
on,
have been right there.
right on the number.
Yeah.
It would have been impressive. John, one thing we didn't sink our teeth into. Maybe we'll do more of it tomorrow, but we still got 10 minutes here to go today, so why not? Um, Jordan Mailata after the game said that early on it looked like the Bucks knew what was coming and that the Eagles didn't adjust fast enough. And when they adjusted, they didn't execute the changes, which is kind of damning on both the coaching staff and the players. Didn't adapt fast enough and didn't execute fast enough. He kind of took a shot at everybody, which is the kind of guy that Jordan Mailata is. He's not going to throw one person under the bus. He's going to throw all the people under the bus and even himself under the bus, which means it better be a pretty big bus if it's going to go over Jordan Mailata. Um, do you like that candidness from a player when he points the finger at both the coaching staff and the players? Because he did that with that one simple quote of saying, it seemed like the Bucks knew what we were doing and we were a little slow to adapt and then slow to execute. I'm personally a fan of when the players acknowledge the fact that they weren't good enough. Were you?
Yeah, I always loved when players were honest. Rodney McLeod was very honest, gave pretty much a deep dive into the 3rd and 7 that sealed the game with Antonio Brown. Nick Sirianni was obvious, honest in saying that the adjustments came too slow as well. They came too slow in Carolina, to be honest, but they were able to overcome them because of some other things: the block punt, the big field goal, the defense playing well. They were able to overcome. Um, but here's my problem. My bigger problem: there were no adjustments. They're just executing. They're running RPOs. They're running the same stuff. They got Miles Sanders loose. They were RPOs. The Miles Sanders runs. They were RPOs. Um, so where's the adjustment when Jordan says Tampa Bay knows what's coming? Well, Jody McDonald and John McMullen know what's coming. It's a bunch of bubble screens, RPOs, slip screens, regular screens, swing passes. That's what's coming. I don't. Sometimes I think players, coaches as well, because I'll throw Nick in there. And Nick pointed out that the Miles Sanders runs, those were RPOs too. I think they say things to acquiesce. I don't want to say the fan base, however you want to shake it, but talking about adjustments, they ran their offense. They ran their offense early. They ran their offense late. It was a little bit better late. Bruce Arians was very honest, and they let up as typical teams do when they have leads in this league, and they made a mistake. I'm trying to bring up Bruce Arians' quote because he was really honest. Here it is. They popped a couple runs late when we were playing pass defense, just him, and he's talking about Jalen Hurts, just him traveling, him getting out of the pocket, improvising. I like the way we handled all the design plays. Those improvised plays are tough. Those are the ones that are tough against the Eagles offense. The foundational stuff, this goes back to what I was saying at the beginning of the show. The foundational stuff that you count on, that you build an offense on, ain't there. The only thing that works is the improvisational stuff, which is great when it works, but you can't build an offense on that. You can't build an offense on that. If we talked about the offensive line, the pressure, how many sacks the Bucs could have had if Jalen Hurts didn't have that escapability. Jody, if they continued to play that aggressive in the fourth quarter, they took their foot off the gas defensively. They started going back into the zone looks. And that's when the Eagles had a little bit of success. If they kept up with that aggressiveness, it probably would have been the same result. It probably would have been the same ugly play for 60 minutes instead of having a couple nice drives.
You and I have gone back and forth about this a couple times today. We certainly put Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts at the top of our didn't get it done last night list from their loss to Buccaneers, rightfully so. The question is it Sirianni 1 and Hurts 2, or Hurts 1 and Sirianni 2? You're leaning toward quarterback first, coach second. I'm leaning toward coach first, quarterback second. I know at least one guy who was on the same page with me, because I did flip over and watch a little bit of the post-game show. Ray Dinger, who is very respected in this town, been doing it forever, Hall of Fame writer, actually called Nick Sirianni dumb last night.
Ooh.
Called the Eagles offense dumb. Seth Joyner called the Eagle offense a high school offense. He said it's not even a collegiate offense.
It is a college
high school
offense. I
offense.
disagree with it. It is a college offense, but I hear.
He went all the way back to high school. He said college offenses are a little too difficult for the Eagles to run. It's both. I know we're splitting hairs here and we're getting into kind of a.
Well, these guys are frustrated. No offense. Seth loves this team, understandably so. Ray loves this team, understandably so. I do not love this team. I don't dislike this team. I pride myself on my objectivity. I don't care if they win. I don't care if they lose. I do think people get too emotional at times. Nick Sirianni knows what he's doing. I think he there's a lot of things I've criticized him for. I think, he creates these Seth Joyner moments with his high school mentality and put, high school Harry, blah, blah, blah. Always talks about his brother coaching on the college level, his dad, he comes across with the T-shirt slogans. This is high school stuff. This is college stuff. He brings on this stuff himself. He's trying to protect the quarterback. The quarterback can't run a traditional offense. It drives me crazy when people say, run what Tom Brady does. It would be uglier. It would be uglier if that's possible. I know I can't prove it. I can't prove it. But if you ask Jalen Hurts, if you just parachute him in to the Tampa Bay offense, oh, would that be a disaster? I think the
Yeah,
answer here is I think people are getting the answer. They just don't want to admit it to themselves.
John, I think you're right. We're back to the 50-51%. Oh, you're in the 50%. You're in the 60%. You might be in the 70%. I don't know that it's 95%. I want to see.
All right, that's fair. That's fair.
Because
That's fair.
he hasn't run this type of an offense. Oh, by the way, he did a little bit last year. The Peterson offense wasn't the RPO offense. So he had very good games and very poor games last year. If we have come to the determination, and I don't know that the Eagles have, but they should, that this type of offense is not good and isn't going to work and is a long-term mistake, correct it now. And let's find out if Jalen Hurts running Tampa's offense, take Tampa's offense, lock, stock, and barrel, which we could have Antonio Brown and Mike Evans and all those guys. But you can't. But go ahead, put them in it. Let's find out, since we're going to trade Zach Ertz anyway and not really put our best effort to win games this year. Let's go ahead. Let's get into the under the microscope and find out if he can or can't play, not speculate. And you can have a really good feeling about it. And you're probably right. But let's find out. Let's actually put him in it and do away with the RPOs.
That's fair. That is completely fair, and I've argued that. I said, if you remember early in the season when they weren't throwing the football over the middle of the field at all, I said you got to take the shrink wrap off. You got to figure out what you have with this quarterback. I'm just saying I would love to see it as well, because I think I've been proven right. I think he's trying to protect the quarterback. I think that's not in his mindset, and I can't blame that on a coach. I will never blame a coach for trying to, as I always say, accentuate the strengths of a player. I think that's what Nick Sirianni is trying to do. It's not being successful. I don't know if this type of offense without other aspects added in, watch Lamar Jackson, watch Kyler Murray, who do a lot of RPO stuff, but do so much other. They need to get to that point. And maybe you're right. Maybe I talk about throwing players like Davion Taylor into the deep end of the pool. Maybe it's time to throw Jalen Hurts into the deep end of the pool. Sink or swim.
I would be good with that, because then you would at least have a better grasp on where the future of this team is. I'm kind of torn at 2-4. Do I think the Cowboys are going to win this division? Yeah. If the only way the Cowboys don't win the division if Dak Prescott goes down again, which is a possibility. So you have to keep that in mind. But as of right now, they look much the best in this division. You got 2 winnable games the next 2 weeks. You lose those 2, you're 2-6. Forget about it. Just go ahead. Pack it in. It's all over. You're not winning the division. You're not making a wild card. Feel free to throw everybody out there for a test drive. There's no sense in, this gives us the slightest chance to win. We got to do what's best for the quarterback and give him. No, just make it a test run for the rest of the year. But I can't go there yet at 2-4 with the Raiders and the Lions as the next 2 games. I still got to try and win games during the next 2 weeks, but that's just me. Johnny Mac, that's all we're going to talk about for the next 2 weeks. Are the Birds still in it? Are we kidding ourselves? Are we delusional? Should they just go ahead and trade Gardner Minshew next week? Let's go. Let's see if Gardner can play.
I'm surprised we got a little Gardner stuff on social media I got sent to me. That's going to start as well if they keep losing games. You get to Gardner Minshew territory, things are not going well.
Well, it didn't go well last night, but we come here, whether they go well or go poorly. We're here for you each and every single day. After the fact, before the fact, leading up to the fact. The facts are the birds. This is Birds 365, and we will be here for you. Right back at it on Monday. JM, have a good weekend, buddy.
Boy, I'm excited for the weekend, Jody. Gonna watch a little James Bond on Saturday. Gonna watch some football on Sunday, and I don't have to worry about stressing over covering a game. Finally can enjoy. Although I don't enjoy NFL football anymore because they ruined the sport. But I'm getting off on another tangent.
Mr. Over Legislation,
yes.
John McMullen. Partner, I'll see you back here on Monday. Have a good weekend.
Thank you, Jody. You too.
Good weekend to all of you Birds fans out there. Be back here with us on Monday on Birds 365.